Hey, what's up everyone? Thanks for checking out this new video for Team Infinity. It's called Cycle Tracking Sheet. Now, I got this cycle tracking sheet from Emerald director Jared Krebs, who got it from Team One Body. And I've adapted it to fit our team and things that we do that are unique. Now, the purpose of this amazing tool that I've been using for a while now, and I contribute this to a much higher retention in my customers. And this tool is basically going to help you to take your new customers and associates through the most critical time in their business and their experience as a customer, and that's the first 90 days. What you do after those 90 days is up to you, but this tool is to take them through the first 90 days. Because statistically, if you can create an experience during the first 90 days, you can walk them through that, and you're going to find some of the tools that we're going to talk about in here to assist you with that. The statistical probability of them remaining customers for many years to come significantly increases. So I encourage you to start now. Take this tool and do it every single time you do your weekly action planning. Okay? It takes some getting used to, just like anything. But I promise you, my wife and I I'm looking over at my awards up there. We've won 4 or 5 preferred customer awards in the last four years or more. The way you get those is not just by getting new customers, but by keeping those customers, because you get points on the reports and things like that every time your customers place an auto order or a purchase. So it says active preferred customer enrollers. Just wanted to point that out really quick. So let's get right into this. And I'm confident that if you take this tool, you will grow your business and your retention will skyrocket. Okay? So starting at the top, it says week ending, and then so you put that Friday, and cycle, is it going to be 1, 2, 3, or 4? Okay. I encourage you to watch the video that exists out there. I've probably sent it out to the team a couple times. If you haven't seen it, I have a Team Infinity YouTube page. If you haven't seen the 4-week rolling calendar video about how our auto orders work, make sure you watch that to understand what cycle means. Every time you sign someone up, it's going to tell you this is what cycle they're on. When you're an associate, you should never change your cycle because that's directly tied to your commissions. Okay? Be the best at follow-up tracking and they will stay in your business for life. IOR equals initial order reward. AO equals auto order. Okay, so right here in the slanted areas, I put the name and ID number, tracking both associates and clients. So the first thing I do right here, let me move this up. Placement of my business. Where did you put them? 2 left, 2 right, 3 left, 3 right. Maybe you have more businesses than that, and you put them in your 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, maybe more. Date of enrollment. Initial point order. I always know their initial point order. When you're placing those orders for them, it's really easy to follow that. If someone made a purchase on your website, or they signed themselves up as a preferred customer on your website, you can find out the initial point order. In worst case scenario, you can just call customer service and find out, but I always like to know the initial point order, especially if they're associates. Original sponsor. Okay, so is that you, or is that someone in your downline? Okay, so this is kind of a deep concept to understand, which is basically pointing to the purpose of following your downline's customers, because they're your customers too. They're in your downline, right? You just signed up a new associate and they signed up a customer. You should be following that customer just like they are. Because what if that associate drops out of nowhere and you have no idea what that customer's been exposed to. So once you start getting really good at the cycle tracker, you're not only following your own customers and associates, but you're following your downline's new customers and associates. That makes sense? So this original sponsor column is most of the time probably going to be you in the beginning, but as your business is growing, then that could be someone in your downlines, an associate. So it's also important to know the placement in the sponsor's business. Again, if this is your customer, then you're just going to put a little dash through these boxes. But where did that associate put that customer in their business? First, 5% initial order dollar amount. Again, I made another video that I actually sent out tonight. Again, and depending on when you're watching this video, I sent out this video to our team, and again, it's teaching everyone about the differences between preferred amount, preferred customer, auto order prices, retail prices, initial order reward. So before you really understand what this is, make sure you're consulting with that video as well. And if you don't know where that video is, reach out to me and I'll send it to you. It should be on the YouTube Team Infinity page. But again, if you can't find it, just reach out. So first initial order reward deadline, the fourth Friday, is this. So why is it important to know when someone's initial order reward deadline is? Because that initial order reward is going to expire. Okay? So it's important. So I call on that fourth Friday. I call before their first auto order and say, hey, not only your auto order is processing this weekend, but you also have an extra discount on this order. Okay, so I want to know that date so I can make sure that I call them on that date. So your first auto order must process on Sunday. Again, those both correlate together because you want to be calling them. You want to know when that date is. The worst thing, my friends, is to be at work on a Monday and you get a text from a customer that says, oh my gosh, I didn't know this auto order was going to process over the weekend. And they're just not, they're new customers. So it's your responsibility to make sure that that is not a surprise for them. Because then you're going to be dealing with an unsatisfied customer or a return, worst case scenario. All right, this next section right here. So this says both right here on the corner. You notice that? That's talking about both associates and clients. So right here, we're going into this associates only section. Premier Platinum deadline, 56 days. You need to know the exact date of when they have to qualify for Premier Platinum deadline. Okay, on the top right-hand corner of their hub, they're going to have the countdown, but I still like to have the date. All right, 400 point, 3 business center deadline, the 6th Friday. So what does this mean? So if someone comes in with an order, an initial order as a business associate for less than 400 points, then they don't have 3 business centers yet. So USANA kind of says, all right, we're going to let you use your auto order to complete your 400 point order to complete your 3 business centers. So you have technically 6 weeks to do that. I usually just tell my new business partners that you have your initial order and you have your auto order, that you have the ability to kind of like finance with 2 payments to complete your USANA business. During that first month, that associate only has 1 business center, but upon completion of the 400 points, which again usually happens on their first auto order, they automatically have 3 business centers. Okay, so if someone comes in with a 250 point package, what does their auto order need to be to complete their 400 points? 150 point auto order, right? So that's why it's really important to know up here, initial point order and all of these things kind of complement each other. If you have any questions about these things, please reach out to me or your sponsor and let us help you understand this. So associate welcome email sent. So the first thing that I do when I get a new associate is I'm going to send them an email and thank them for joining Team Infinity. Thank you for joining our team, giving them their associate ID number, how to log in, all the details to help them get into their hub. Okay, I have a template that I created a link for. This is a bit.ly link, and it's called New USANA. Link is case sensitive. I've had a couple people tell me that this link doesn't work for them. I've used multiple computers, and it works on those computers. And remember, it's case sensitive. If you type it out exactly like that, you're going to see a great associate welcome email example that you can literally just copy and paste to your email and fill in a couple of the information on there to help them get started right. Because we really want them to get into their account right away and start poking around and again, become independent quickly. So did you add this new associate to the Team Infinity Facebook page, USANA Clients Facebook page, and the state Facebook group? So make sure you're adding them to those Facebook pages and groups. And then so you put a little check mark right here. Did you make a welcome post to their Team Infinity Facebook page, their personal wall, and their state Facebook group? So I do 3 welcome posts, literally on their Team Infinity, on our Team Infinity Facebook page, their personal wall, and the state Facebook. I do not do the USANA clients page. I add them to it, but I do not make a post on that. Do you see that? Just want to make sure. Okay, next one, game plan interview. This usually takes about 1 to 2 hours. Sitting down with them, if they're local, or getting on zoom.us to use a free webinar system, to sit down with them and go over the BDS kit, every single thing. Go over their goals and aspirations and how you're going to help them. All right? Weekly accountability call set, 15 minutes for the first 90 days. Make sure, the best thing, you guys, is to be talking to your new associates on a daily or every other day basis, but at a very minimum, make sure that you have a set time and date every week for 15 minutes to see how you can help this new associate. Next one, when is their first open house, mixer, or spa party date? It's really important for your new associate to have an open house. Now, you need to help them understand that they're not going to be doing very much. They're going to be like a testimonial. You are going to be the host. You are going to be presenting. All right? Or your upline, maybe me, maybe it's Nani. But it's really important to have that open house. If someone's opening up a brick and mortar business, let's say a restaurant, they're going to do a huge open house, and they're going to have that sign outside of their building for a very long time. So get that set immediately, and preferably during that game plan interview that we talked about a second ago. Okay, going down a little bit. Did they text @OneInfinity to 81010 for weekly team notifications? They got to sign up for that. So make sure they do that. Check them off. Did they register for convention? Okay. If they came in with a 400-point order, they have an international convention ticket. Depending on when you're watching this, convention may or may not be sold out. But commit them to international convention and utilize those tickets they have. If they came in with a less than 400-point order, they do not have an international convention ticket. But if they came in with 250 points or above, they do have a national celebration ticket. So that could be the same thing as convention. Just make sure they're signed up immediately and commit to the events that they have tickets for. All right? Next one. So we're back into clients only. Okay? Did that client text @TrueHealth to 81010 for product only notifications? So I send out about 1 or 2 monthly text messages to customers. Maybe I'm sending one out about the Dr. Oz show coming up, or maybe a special that's going on with USANA. So Ask your customer, hey, can I add you to this? And then let me know, and I'll add them to it, or send them the instructions on how to sign up for it. Okay. All right. Next one, client welcome email sent. Did you send an email to your new client, just like we talked about above for your new associate? It's the same link. And again, link is case sensitive. So type it in exactly as you see it. It'll take you to a web page that shows you an example of a associate welcome email and a client welcome email. All right. Did you add this new client to the new members? To the new member USANA clients Facebook group. Okay, did you add them there? Did you make a welcome post to the USANA clients Facebook group? So again, you're checking off these boxes to lead them along this experience that you are providing for them. Did you send a thank you card? So this is for both. We're in the both category again. All right. Every single time I get a new associate or a new customer, I am sending them a thank you card. Now I've simplified it for my own liking. I purchased these little things off Vistaprint. I made these little postcards that says thank you with a USANA logo on the front, and then on the back it has our names on the top left corner, a section on the right side for their address and stamp, and then just a simple thank you for your business. Thank you for joining our team, whatever it may be, and maybe it's a little message right there. Okay, so always send a thank you card. Let's see here. Products scheduled to arrive. Did they pick them up from USANA headquarters? Are they being shipped? But you need to know, when are they scheduled to arrive? So the next box you can call and explain the dosages to them. Explain how to log in. Did they open up your email that you already sent explaining how to log in? It's really important, you guys, to get them to log into their account. Get them independent immediately. And the calls that you will receive will never, the calls will diminish drastically about questions and, hey, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? And that's also important to explain to them auto order. Make sure they understood that you signed them up for an automatic order to come out every 4 weeks. And in that email, you told them the date that it's going to be coming out. But hey, Mr. Customer, Mr. Associate, I am going to let you know before that happens. All right? Because you put the date at the top, remember? There you go. Also, initial order reward discounts. Let them know that in addition to their 10% discount next month when their auto order comes out, or in 2 or 3 weeks from the time you're speaking to them, they're going to get an additional $5, $3, $10, $50 discount, depending on what their initial order reward is. Okay? Got it? Next one. Did they subscribe to the associate customer newsletter? Now, many times you're going to have to do this for them. Just get it done. Okay? Again, this link is case sensitive. All right? So type it exactly the way you see it here, and it'll take you to a web page that lets you sign them up for the associate or customer newsletter. All right? Let's see here, just finishing up. The second 5% initial order reward dollar amount. And guess what? I've already filled in so many of these things right from the beginning, because you already filled in the first 5% initial order reward dollar amount at the top. So it's going to be exactly the same. Now, if you're looking at the report in your hub, then it's also going to tell you the second initial order reward deadline, and you're going to put that right here. So in the very beginning, when I just signed up this customer or associate, I am also going to calculate, because I know how the 4-week rolling calendar works, because I watched a video on it or I talked to my upline about it. I already know when their second auto order is going to process. Okay, so now at this point, they've had an initial order, they've had a first auto order, and now a second auto order. So guess what? They're going into the 90-day stretch. This is their third order. Does that make sense? So again, it's really important for you to walk them down this 90-day process and experience, and you need to know when their auto orders are processing so you can call them, so you can tell them there's no surprises, making sure that they're independent by now. Lastly, small thank you gift after the second auto order. Okay, they've purchased 3 times from you. Send them another thank you card with like a $10 gift certificate to somewhere that they like. That $10 will go so far for keeping them as customers. I can't even just explain it right here. All right, guys, if you have any questions, reach out to your upline, reach out to me, and right here at the bottom, need more copies? Right here, it's case sensitive. I double checked all of these links on multiple computers. They should be working for you. If they're not working for you, please reach out to me and I will get it for you.